Hey, friends. Slow and steady, right? I'm sure that you've heard that before. That's what wins the race. Um, we're going to be wrapping up the story in John chapter 2, 1 to 12, but that's going to be the theme of today's lesson, devotional, encouragement. No rant in this video. There's going to be a second video, just kind of a commercial trying, to tell you if we, lose the TikTok, what to do, where we're going to be at, if you find this helpful. But John chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and brothers and his disciples. There they stayed for a few days. See, I love this. Jesus had a busy 6 to 8 weeks, right? We said that he was baptized in a pretty dramatic fashion. He spent 40 days being tempted in the wilderness. He began talking and working with his first six-ish people that were going to be his disciples. He saved a wedding, and now he's going to spend a few days with his family and some friends. Again, it just shows us how human Jesus was. I keep saying that through there because I want you to understand that we have a heavenly Father, right? And he gave us Jesus, and he understands what we're going through. That's not just a trite thing to say. He came and he lived and he experienced hunger and he experienced having to walk and sore muscles, and he got it. The book of Hebrews 4:15 says that we have a high priest, it's Jesus, who's we don't have a high priest who's unable to empathize with us, with our weaknesses. But we have one who's been tempted in every way, just as we are, and yet he was without sin. See, he was tempted with everything that we go through, with everything that you go through, right? With anger, with bitterness, with resentment. Um, and yet he was able to maintain his composure. He was able to he says that it says that he was able to not somehow to not sin through that. We mentioned that when he was tempted in the desert, right? He was not at his best. He was at his worst. And when we said in the with this miracle here that this was a revealing of himself, right? It said that in verse 11. Now there was going to be a countdown on his life. He began that, but he didn't accomplish everything that he was going to do in a day. He would spend the next few years doing that. And this would be his pattern throughout his ministry. He'd work for a while, he'd teach, he'd serve, he'd heal. Then he'd take a break with his disciples. And then he'd work for a while, pray, teach, and then he'd take a break. And you and I, we need that too, right? We need to take a lesson from Jesus here. Because it's okay to give everything that you have. You should work hard. Christians should be the hardest working people wherever they're at, whether it's on the job site, whether it's at the church, right? We shouldn't expect, if you're a follower of Jesus, you shouldn't expect to go to church and just to be served. You should go find a place to help out. And it's okay to sometimes say no because you're tired and you need a break. And so take a lesson from Jesus, take a break. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is to grab a nap. I hope this helps. I hope it blessed you. There's going to be a second video. We're just going to call these part 1, part 2. I hope that you find it, and I hope that you follow us if we lose the TikTok. Have a great day. Bye.